Hello knitters, and welcome to another episode of A Knitter's Life. Well, I'm back here. It was sunny, but now it's gray. I think that every time I podcast, I jinx things, if that's possible. But that's okay. Hopefully there's enough light so that we can see each other and we can chat about projects. So, how have you all been? You all have been so nice and so kind and so chatty on Ravelry this week to me. I really enjoyed it the past 2 weeks. You guys have sent me the nicest messages and just chatting back and forth and hearing about your projects and hearing the things that you enjoy about the podcast. And that's so helpful. I love hearing from you guys because that's what makes the podcast real. It's kind of boring to sit in front of a camera and just talk about my knitting. It's the fun part is hearing about your knitting and having you all join in. And in that same idea of loving to see what you guys are knitting, I want to have a thread open of what's on your needles or what you're working about on or what you're excited about in the knitting world. So I'm going to open that thread and any of you can join in. I will probably choose 2 people specifically to call out in the podcast to put their things in because just to get the thread started and to remind everybody every other week to post some things in there. I don't know at this point whether it will be a prize thread or not, or just an ongoing fun chatty thread that we can have. But I love to see what you guys are doing and what you're excited about. So anyways, I'm going to start that, and somewhere in here I'll throw out a couple of names. But I did want to thank some of you for getting into the introduce yourself thread and introducing yourself. I know that sometimes that's not the funnest thing to do, is to talk about yourself, but I really appreciate it, and all of us in the community, the A Knitter's Life community, I really appreciate it because we really like to get to know everybody. It's like sitting down with a worldwide knitting group, and if you don't introduce yourself, we can't get to know you. I understand you don't feel like you have to introduce yourself, but it's fun when you do. So I really appreciate it. And I'm gonna look a little closer at my book, and I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, and I'm so sorry. But Amanda May, 83 from South Dakota, introduced herself. And Amanda, if I'm remembering correctly, you are a legal secretary, and that was kind of fun to know because I was a court reporter for several years. That's what I went to school for. So I was a stenographer, and I would go around to attorneys' offices and do depositions. So that was quite an adventure. Quite an adventure, and I saw many things. So I even did, this is really random, I even did a auction of a gasoline company and gasoline stations. And this was out at our airport because a lot of people flew in. And there was such a variety of people there. There were, there were American businessmen, there were European businessmen, there were sheikhs from the Middle East. It was fascinating. It was really fascinating. So I was there to take down the bids as they happened, it was difficult. It was a long day. Anyways, okay. And then I'm sure that I'm going to pronounce your name wrong, and I apologize, but Bakara from snowy Switzerland, welcome. You said some kind things in the group, and that thank you so much. Thank you for your encouragement. I appreciate it. And someday, somehow, I wish we could all hear how you pronounce your name because I'm sure it's much prettier than how I did it, but it is a beautiful name, Bakara. So, and then Erin. I am Erin Joy on Ravelry. She introduced herself. Kim from Houston. She is the Black Horse on Ravelry, and she also does a podcast, Me and My Dog and Some Yarn. Sounds cute. Nettie3 on Ravelry, she introduced herself, and she is from Australia. So I think you all are having summer now, or maybe fall, probably summer, because we haven't hit spring yet. So you guys are sweating while we're freezing. And then Tilly Trout introduced herself. And Tilly, that was so kind of you. So hello to all of you, and also thank you to all of those who have been chatting away in the Remembering Vanessa knit along thread. That's so exciting. I think I can. There's 7 of you, 8 or so, who have totally committed to knitting along with me. So I'm excited. I've been working on that a lot. I've been working on the charts for the Remembering Vanessa knit along. This is a knit along to savor and to remember Vanessa Caban, who passed away right before Christmas. She was a beautiful artist. She was a children's book illustrator. She was a knitter. She was a crocheter. She did beautiful sculptures of paper mache and animals, and she combined embroidery in that and really made them characters, which they're just beautiful. Those of you who were able to purchase some of her sculptures are just so lucky. So anyways, she was a gardener too. She loved gardening and she did beautiful gardens. So anyways, I wanted to have a knit along to just remember her, remember the art that she gave us, and be thankful for her work that she and the beauty that she gave us. So we're gonna do a cowl after the same manner of her scarf. And I talked about this in the last podcast, but I know there's a lot of you who are new, so I'm just gonna go over it one more time. We're gonna use some really pretty colors that are very Vanessa-like, and we're gonna kind of mimic the Fair Isle scarf that she made back in 2001. In the pattern, you can either make it a cowl, and you can make it a short cowl. You could make it a scarf like Vanessa did and just sew up the ends so that they're closed. Or you could make it a really long, like 60-inch cowl so that it can wrap double around your neck. So I think I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, which is fine. This is a knit along, so you all can help me decide, but in the pattern I'll give directions for those 3 options. And I'm going to release the pattern. I think there's going to be at least 4 charts, and so I'll release them, I'm thinking 2 to 3 weeks apart, and the first release is going to be February 6th. So I know that some of you have had difficulty in the UK finding the comparable yarn and comparable yarn colors. So I'm going to try to spend some time on that this afternoon and come up with some yarn suggestions for you guys and see what's available. You probably don't have to use 100% wool because we won't be steeking this cowl, this Fair Isle stranded work. So you probably could get away with using an acrylic wool blend or even an all acrylic. So I need to look into that. I know Stylecraft has a lot of colors over in the UK, but Penny from the Planet Penny blog was so kind, and she blogged about our knit along, and she also blogged about a project that she and Bobo Bun is doing, where they're doing crochet squares, and they're gonna after the fashion of the crochet scarf that Vanessa did, and they're going to be auctioning that blanket off to give towards the charity of Vanessa's family's choice. I think they requested some if you wanted to give money or give flowers, to send money to a mental health charity in the UK. So you can find all of the information about the crochet square blanket on Planet Penny on her blog, and I'll put the link in the show notes in the Ravelry group. But if you don't feel like you can participate in the stranded knitting knit along, you feel free to go over and participate in that crochet square blanket, or do both. I'm sure that they would love as many squares, maybe even make several blankets. That would be awesome. So I am planning on making a Fair Isle chart, a stranded knitting chart, and then just a striped chart for the cowl, the Remembering Vanessa cowl, so that those of you who aren't as comfortable with stranded knitting could join us and just do stripes. So, and who doesn't love a striped cowl? So, and especially their spring colors, their garden colors. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoy that. So, what else? I wanted to mention, this is going to be going in the prize box for, oh, hey, the guys are coming in. Do you want to come in and say hi? This is going in the prize box for the Remembering Vanessa knit along, and I'm going to be gathering up some more prizes to be putting in that knit along. This is the Under 100 collection that Knit Picks put out last year, and it is a beautiful collection. Oh my goodness. It has all sorts of things, and all of them are under 100 grams of yarn. So there's fingering weight projects, there's worsted weight projects, there's DK weight projects. It's like the perfect little book to have on hand to use up those little scraps of yarn or quick gifts. So I did a pattern in this book. I did this cute little coin purse, which I absolutely love. Here's my versions. There's a larger one, and then there's a little smaller one. And they're perfect for little notions, for stitch markers or chocolates in your knitting bag. Who has chocolate in their knitting bag? Not me, right? Actually, I'm out of my chocolate in my knitting bag. I need to put some more in there. But anyways, so that pattern is in the Under 100s book. And also it is actually in my Ravelry store now because the exclusivity just ran up, so you can get that pattern in the Ravelry store as well as in the collection. So I'll be giving away this book as part of the Remembering Vanessa knit along, and I will start the prize thread once the knit along starts. So there'll be more information on that. But just to let you know that that's coming up. All right. Well, after that amount of chatter, do we need any more chatter? But I wanted to tell you of some fun adventures that we've gone on, and I hope you don't mind. But recently, right before Christmas, my sister and brother-in-law started a grocery store. It's a boutique grocery store down in Fountain Square, which is a neighborhood in the city where we live. We live in Indianapolis, and it's this artsy, cutesy, up-and-coming neighborhood down in the city. And they moved down there right when they got married, and both of them are foodies. I would say my brother-in-law, he's a really good cook, and so he was really disappointed that there isn't a lot of good food that you can get downtown in the city. And what a shame, because most cities do have that. But we don't. He also worked for a time for Traders Point Creamery, which some of you might recognize their milk in like Fresh Market or Whole Foods or places like that. So he really knew and had a good grasp of the fresh and local produce here regionally available to us, and they're fresh and local meats and cheeses. And so I think it was even because he knew that it was available, and because it wasn't available, it was excruciatingly frustrating. So he decided to do something about that. And he started a shop, and it is so cute. Okay, drink some tea. It's in this vintage gas station down in Fountain Square that before they got it, it was still, I mean, it still had the tire, well, it still has the tire rack in there, and the bays were used as for cars. Now, it hadn't been used in a very, very long time, but the owners of the place just totally gutted it and fixed it up, and then Emily and Craig came in there and decorated it really cute with vintage things, and it's just an awesome, awesome place to go in and have a cup of coffee, have your morning croissant or pastry, and get your groceries, or even go in at lunch, because he makes awesome sandwiches with the meats and cheeses that are available. and awesome soups. It's just incredible. And he'll do a cheese plate for you, and his prices are really good. You can get a cheese plate for two for $10, which is incredible because it's really good cheese. And anyways, he has this sheep's blue cheese, a blue cheese made out of sheep's milk that blew me out of the water because it's so creamy. It's like eating cream with a little bit of blue cheese in it, but the blue cheese isn't overpowering, whereas most of the blue cheese at the store is way overpowering. So anyways. So we were going down there during the Christmas holiday. We would go down there and get some coffee, and I'd get some sausages or things to cook up for dinner, and it was just a fun little outing and fun to participate. And the coffee is really good too. So he does pour over coffees. He also does drip coffee too, but he does the pour over coffee, so you can really taste the flavor of the coffee, and the coffee beans are really fresh. So it's just really good. So John, we were bringing the boys along. John was so excited. He thought this was really cool. So he started playing at home grocery store. We have a very old cash register that was his aunt's when she was little, that his grandma gave to him to use. So it's kind of broken and hard to push the buttons, but it's old and it still works. You can kind of get the idea. But he didn't have any money, so he started making his money, and out of just lined paper and coloring it in and cutting it out, and he did this all on his own. And then we would come to the grocery store and buy things. John's grocery store. So we were playing this last Saturday, right before we had to go to a birthday party that we had been invited to for a little girl in John's class. And she was turning 6. So we were playing it, and he was having so much fun, and he was making his money. And then we pull up at the party, and the party is in this very big, beautiful house downtown. And it's the home of two doctors who both the husband and the wife work. And the party, it was beautifully decorated for the party, and decorations all over the place. And the theme was Vikings and How to Train Your Dragon. And then the huge black marble kitchen counter was spread with tons of food. I mean, it was groaning with the weight of food. And this beautiful sculpted cake and with dragons on it and everything. And we go in, and the little girl and her brother, whose home it is and whose birthday it is, they're just screaming. They're just nuts, just running to and fro, just screaming and nuts. And we introduced ourselves because I had never met the parents, and we chatted for a little bit. And they didn't have anything for the kids to do. It was very strange. It was very strange because all of this money was spent on the food and the decorations, but what were the kids supposed to do? So John, there was a few awkward moments where we were just like, well, what do we do? The little girl that was just running around screaming, so we couldn't really interact with her. We started looking around the playroom, and they had a beautiful, brand new cash register with fake money that had never been used, and credit cards. And then they had baskets of food and of toy food, and bags to carry it in. And so we started gathering the things, and they were all kind of mixed up, but we started gathering and putting them together. I said, let's play shop here. Why not? There's nothing else to do. So I started getting it all out, and we set it all up, and I lined up all the food and everything. And so John and I started to play. Well, then all the kids wanted to play. So soon I had all the kids organized, playing shop, and John just thought it was so much fun. They all had to take turns at the cash register, and then I showed them, well, one person has to bag the food, and one person has to keep fixing the food to make sure it's neat. So soon I had all those kids organized into playing shop, and they had the best time ever. So, but it was just funny to me that it's a little kid's birthday party. Shouldn't more effort be put into the kids and what they want to do and organizing games for them? Kids don't care about decorations, and they really don't care about a ton of food. The food was barely touched, but they do care about games and things to play. So anyways, the mom, as I was leaving, she said, "I am so glad you came." I thought, yeah, I bet you are. But anyways, we did have fun. It was funny. It was very funny circumstance. But anyways, so that little girl has a nanny, so I can, the mom and dad probably didn't know what to do, so with the kids. So anyways, we had fun. We made it work. So, but that was so we've continued to play shop. And that's what we've been caught up with, playing shop. I kind of wish we could play yarn shop. Wouldn't that be fun? But I don't know if John would get into that. I'd have fun. I could organize the yarn that I have. But anyways. So, okay, what is on or off my needles? I don't have a lot this time, but I did finish this, which I'm so pleased with. If you remember, this is that the mill ends of the shepherd's wool. They throw them all in a big bin until they have the big bin filled, and then they ply them all together. So you get this really fun stripy effect. So it's very soft. It's a fingering weight, and I made it into a little jumper for Arthur. There's no pattern. I just did a top down. I took his measurements and did a gauge swatch, and off we went. But I didn't like how the sleeves were coming out, because the sleeves, the pattern, the colors changed, and it just looked kind of wonky. So I went ahead and just made it a little short sleeve cardigan, which I think will work. So now I have to get some buttons for it and put it on there. But I think the little shawl collar is so cute, and it will go so nicely with his little blonde, reddish blonde hair. So I kind of wish it was my size. It's so cute. So that I did finish. I am, nothing else is finished. Sorry. I am nearing, I wanted to show you guys this. This is so fun. I heard about these. They are needle keepers. It's just this metal tube with this plastic end that's kind of rigid, and you just stick your circulars into when you're done, so that your stitches can't come off your needles and they don't poke through your bag. It's wonderful. I think I need about 10 of them. But anyways, so I need to get more. You can find them on Etsy, and I'll have the link for you because I didn't bring the name. But they're wonderful. And I do need about 10. Slowly, I shall accumulate them. But this is my sideways garter stitch vest that I saw that Tilly Trout was making, and then she frogged hers, but because it was boring. But I love it because people at 2 different times in their life love 2 different things. So to me, this is my relaxing project. I just love working with the larger yarn and the larger needles, and I love the squishiness of the garter stitch, and it's a de-stressor for me. So I am really enjoying it. I've finished one front, I've done across the back, and I'm just about to put in the second little waist yarn for the armhole. So I'm really excited to see how that turns out, and I can't wait to wear it. So hopefully next time we chat, I will have that done. The yarn is the Briar Rose Big Hank and I don't know what yarn base it is. I think it's her Blue Face Leicester yarn, but it's blues and greens. which I love. Just so deep and rich, like water. So that is still in progress. And then, oh, I want to show you my cowl is in progress because I've been testing out the charts that I've been making, the Remembering Vanessa cowl, but I am going to keep it for the 6th. I'm going to keep it a surprise. Aren't you disappointed? I'm disappointed because I want to show you. I have been working a teeny tiny bit on my Cozy Memories blanket. Now, if you remember my Cozy Memories blanket, I'm just doing mine with hand spun. And I did that because I found some old hand spun of mine and I thought, oh, I was just a tiny little bit. I wish I had saved little pieces of my hand spun from when I started so that I could see my spinning journey. And if I could give one word of advice to Brianne of the Knitworthy podcast, and I don't even know Brianne if you watch, but if you do, you just started spinning. And I would say, I would start either a Cozy Memories blanket or something to save just a little bit of each of your hand spun hanks that you finish, because that way you can keep your knitting, your spinning story. I really wish I had. But I've started now, so there you go. About 10 years late, but I've started. No, it's longer than that. I started spinning when I was 18. Oh, I'm not going to figure that one out. You can figure that one out. But anyways, so I'm very happy with it. This is, oh yes, I'm so excited. Good. Okay, this is what I just finished spinning, and I wrapped it up so I couldn't show it to you because it's for a gift for a friend. It is silk and merino. It was an art yarn bat, and I just finished spinning that and wrapped it up. But I thought, oh, I can't show you what I finished. But there it is. Isn't it gorgeous? It's more pink than red. I thought it was going to be a little redder. It is red. I mean, the camera's picking up all the pinks, but it's gorgeous. And then this is the blue that I finished for a friend. And there's always just enough on the bobbin for me to save just a little bit for myself, for my blanket, which I'm thrilled with. So that's coming along, and I'm enjoying it. That is it for what's on my needles, but I wanted to chat about a few more things, if that's okay. I picked up some really yummy tea, and I wanted to show it to you just in case you find it. You've got to get a hold of it. This is peppermint and English toffee, and who would have thought that those two combinations would taste good together? They really, really do. I know. Isn't it funny? Peppermint and English toffee, but it's quite delicious. So it's Dilma Exceptional Peppermint and English Toffee Black Tea. It's very, very good. Then this other one I've been enjoying. This is Zena's Gypsy Tea. Let's see. There we go. This I think you might be able to find on Amazon. And the Gypsy Rose Black Tea and the Raspberry Earl. Oh my goodness. So yummy. These two I want big tins of. So I've got to hunt those down. But if you see this, get it because it's really, really good. The coconut chai isn't that great. The peach ginger is good. But the raspberry Earl Grey and the Gypsy Rose are exceptional. So regarding tea, have you guys been watching Downton Abbey? Those of you who are in the United States, I've been really enjoying it. I don't know why. It's not as if the storyline is terribly exciting. I mean, it's good, but I guess it's the costumes and the scenery and the upstairs downstairs interactions. It's been so much fun. So 2 weeks ago, it was fun to interact with all of you on Instagram as we were watching Downton Abbey, and I thought, oh, let's all share our tea trays, and if you make up a tray of snacks before you sit down and watch Downton Abbey, I thought it would be so much fun to share and tag. So last Sunday, I made up my tea tray, and then I tagged Beezy Mama, who is Tanya Marie of the Sampler Girl podcast, and her mom. It's Lucy Yarn Pocket, I think, and they participated, which was so much fun. So if any of you guys want to join in, let's do it. Let's make up our tea tray, then take a picture, and then put it on Instagram and tag it with the same tag. I think I used, all right, I'll put the tag in the show notes. The show notes will be in the Ravelry group. So if you're not a member, go and join so you can check out the show notes. But it was so much fun, and it would be fun if more of you participated. But anyways, all right, last but not least, the books that I've been reading. JK has been reading this to me because I really, really have wanted to read it, and I have a hard time putting down my knitting needles to read. So he sometimes reads aloud to me. This is Midnight in Siberia by David Green, a train journey into the heart of Russia. And David Green, if any of you are NPR junkies like me, of course you know who that name is. He's the host of Morning Edition. And he lived over in Russia for several years as the NPR station chief. What's that called? Well, anyways, chief editor? I don't know. Station chief over in Russia. So he's very familiar with Russia. But he took a train journey and then wrote about it. And it's very eye-opening and very, it's sad, but it's also, it makes you really, really appreciate where you are. At least, and just thankful for the little things. Then, the second one that I'm reading is A Country Woman's Year by Rosemary Verrey. And it's all about gardening and her garden, which I love. My second passion is gardening. And I've been doing a bit of research and watching some gardening programs on YouTube to hopefully do a better garden this year. So I've been really soaking this up. This has been fun. Look at her house. Isn't it gorgeous? So this I found in a thrift shop. I had never heard of it before, but I saw it and I thought, I've got to have it. So anyways, it's very good. So that is that, I think, for this week. I'm sure I'm missing something, and I'm sure there's something else that we need to chat about, but oh well. Come into the Ravelry group online, and it's Ravelry, it's in Ravelry, the group is called A Knitter's Life. And let's have a chat about our works in progress and things that are inspiring us right now. So I'll see you there, okay? Don't forget to meet me there. I'll see ya. Bye-bye.